At 04:15 hours on June 13, 1944, over the quiet suburbs of southern England near Gravesend, a low, ominous buzzing filled the pre-dawn sky. Residents jolted awake to the distinctive pulse of a pulse jet engine, the unmistakable sound of a German V-1 buzz bomb hurtling toward London at 350 miles per hour. The flying bomb, launched from Pas-de-Calais ski sites in occupied France, carried an 850-kilogram warhead, flew low to evade radar, and relied on a simple preset timer and gyro compass to dive when fuel ran out. No pilot, no radio control, just a relentless, impersonal terror weapon designed to break British civilian morale after D-Day. Anti-aircraft gunners on the gun belt along the coast tracked the incoming missile. Searchlights swept the sky. 40mm Bofors and 3.7-inch heavy guns opened fire. But in the early days of the V-1 campaign, shells needed direct hits or near misses to detonate. Proximity fuses were still top secret, not yet widespread. Many V-1s slipped through, crashing into London with devastating blasts. In the first week, over 2,000 launched. Hundreds reached targets, killing hundreds and terrorizing millions. The Germans were confident. Their V-1, Vergeltungswaffe 1, Vengeance Weapon 1, was cheap, mass-produced, unstoppable by conventional defenses at night or in bad weather. Luftwaffe assessments dismissed Allied AA improvements as ineffective. Time fuses and contact fuses required precise ranging, impossible against a fast, low-flying drone. Why fear? The buzz bombs would rain down endlessly, forcing Britain to divert resources and perhaps negotiate. But across the Atlantic, in secret American and British labs, a tiny miracle had been born: the proximity fuse, or VT, variable time fuse. A miniature radar in every shell nose that sensed metal targets and detonated at the optimal distance, usually 50 to 75 feet, creating massive airbursts far deadlier than ground-level explosions. The story of how this forgotten electronic wonder turned V-1s from terror weapons into falling junk begins in the desperate months after Dunkirk. In 1940, with Britain under blitz and invasion threat, British scientists sought ways to make AA fire more lethal. Traditional fuses, time, clockwork, or contact, impact, were inefficient against fast aircraft or missiles. A proximity fuse that exploded near the target would multiply kill radius 5 to 10 times. The breakthrough came from American physicist Merle Tuve at the Carnegie Institution's Department of Terrestrial Magnetism, DTM, part of the secret National Defense Research Committee. Tuve's team miniaturized radar tech, a tiny vacuum tube oscillator, amplifier, thyrotron switch, and antenna in a shell nose no bigger than a grapefruit. The fuse transmitted radio waves. Echoes from a nearby plane or missile triggered detonation. It had to survive 20,000 G acceleration from gun launch, spin at 25,000 RPM, withstand -40 degrees Fahrenheit to +170 degrees Fahrenheit, and remain reliable after months in storage. By 1942, the British Tizard mission had shared cavity magnetron secrets. Americans scaled production at Sylvania, RCA, and others. The first VT fuses, Mark 32 for Navy 5-inch guns, were rushed to the Pacific in 1943, where they devastated Japanese aircraft at the Battle of the Philippine Sea, Mariana's turkey shoot. Shells burst in lethal clouds around diving kamikazes or vols, turning near misses into kills. But the real test came against the V-1 in summer 1944. After D-Day, V-1 launches ramped up to 100+ per day over London. RAF fighters, Tempests, Spitfires, Mustangs, downed many by tipping wings or shooting engines, but AA guns were crucial for the gun belt defense line. Initial success was low, only 10 to 20% downed. Then VT fuses arrived in quantity for 90mm and 3.7-inch guns. The difference was immediate and terrifying for the Germans. A standard time-fused shell needed perfect prediction of range, altitude, speed. V-1s flew erratically at low level, making optical ranging hard. VT fuses ignored all that. Radar sensed the metal body within lethal radius and detonated automatically. One battery with VT could down 3 to 5 times more V-1s than conventional fuses. By July-August 1944, kill rates soared to 50 to 80% in good conditions. V-1s exploded mid-air in brilliant fireballs, wings torn off, fuel igniting, warhead detonating harmlessly thousands of feet up. Londoners watched the sky fill with falling junk, fuselages tumbling, engines flaming out, payloads bursting over fields instead of streets. German pilots and launch crews were stunned. Reports from occupied France described invisible death, buzz bombs vanishing in sudden explosions with no enemy plane in sight. They never saw it coming. No tracer, no searchlight beam, just a puff of smoke and debris raining down. The V-1's simple design, no countermeasures against radar, made it helpless. Over 8,000 V-1s launched at Britain. AA with VT fuses downed roughly 1,800 to 2,000. Fighters claimed similar numbers. Without proximity fuses, casualties would have been far higher, perhaps doubling London's death toll from the campaign, over 6,000 killed, 17,000 plus injured. The fuse's secrecy was absolute. Labeled highly classified, production disguised as radio parts, no mention in press until war's end. Even Allied pilots were forbidden to discuss downed V-1s exploding in air. In the Pacific, VT fuses on Navy 5-inch guns shredded kamikazes at Leyte Gulf and Okinawa, shells bursting in lethal spheres around diving planes. One battleship claimed 10-plus kills in a single attack. The proximity fuse, called the most valuable secret weapon of the war by some, was a billion-dollar gamble, equivalent today, that paid off massively. Miniaturized electronics, rugged tubes, Doppler radar principles, all pioneered under utmost secrecy. The Germans, who mocked Allied decadent tech, never adapted. Their V-1s became falling junk, their terror campaign blunted by a tiny nose fuse they never detected. One small electronic miracle, thousands of lives saved, a war turned in the skies over London.